Get out of here, you loser. Florida czar Tom Homan lays into heckler and later admits U.S. citizens are swept up in raids. Tom Homan was at Turning Point USA when a heckler confronted him, and this is what Tom Homan had to say about that. You want some? Come get some. I'm tired of it. Tom Homan isn't going anywhere. Tom Homan isn't shutting up. This guy wouldn't know what it's like to serve this nation. This guy ain't got the balls to be an ICE officer. He hasn't got the balls to be a Border Patrol agent. This guy lives in his mother's basement. The only thing that doesn't surprise me, the only thing that surprised me is doesn't have purple hair and a nose ring. Get out of here, you loser. Now, we don't know what the heckler said, but I'm assuming it has something to do with Homan's statement to Fox News about ICE agents don't need probable cause to walk up to somebody, briefly detain them, and question them based on their physical appearance. Without explanation of what he meant by physical appearance, it all but confirmed that Homan was directing agents to briefly detain or more people who they thought to be of Hispanic or Latino descent in order to appear more reasonable to people who don't understand why we target certain individuals who look like they don't belong in this country. He went on CNN with Dana Bash and said, "Let me be clear. Physical description can't be the sole factor to give you reasonable suspicion. Physical description cannot be the sole reason to detain and question somebody. That can't be the sole reason to raise reasonable suspicion. It's a myriad of factors." He also stressed that every ICE officer goes through Fourth Amendment training every 6 months, referring to training meant to guide federal law enforcement officers when it comes to making decisions about whether a stop is legal. But Homan also admitted that ICE had made what he called collateral arrests of American citizens in many instances. Homan told Politico that the administration would not provide amnesty for undocumented farm workers caught in ICE raids on farm working communities. No one hires an illegal alien out of the goodness of their heart. They hire them because they can work them harder, pay them less, and undercut their competition with U.S. citizen employees. Many illegal aliens do not pay taxes. They are paid under the table. The employers don't pay employee taxes. They don't pay unemployment insurance. So they're cheating the system. So let's go through this again. If it's racial profiling to target a potential undocumented immigrant to prove that they are indeed undocumented or documented, how else are you going to do it? Would it be better if Tom Homan or an ICE agent overheard some Spanish? Would that be probable cause to arrest them or detain them? This isn't a racial thing. It is not racial profiling. Why do you think that ICE agents are targeting people of Hispanic or Latino descent? They come in through the ports of entry, they scale the fence, they do whatever they have to do to come in up through the United States, because I don't know if you can see, they're below us. Whatever. Anyway, they're coming up, they're trying to get in, and a fuckload of them made their way in. Like, way too many to count. So look, it says in 2023, approximately 1.2 million immigrants entered the United States. That's annually, by the way. So once a year, every year, 1.2 million immigrants come to the United States. That's both legal and illegal immigrants. It's a combined 1.2 million of them. Trump 2.0 administration wants to reduce that number. Again, we don't want to get rid of the legal immigrants. They've already been here long enough, which is why I don't make heads or tails out of the fact that you have a problem with this searching and detaining people who are of Mexican or Latino descent. Because if you're a Latino person or a person of Mexican or Latino descent, and you're a legal one, you should have your paperwork with you. Like, this is who I am, I'm Gonzalez Rodriguez Fernandez, this is my ID, this is my social security number, I have all the paperwork, senor. Yeah, I understand, it's a little annoying. I understand it's not something you want to be subjected to. It's not something anybody wants to be subjected to. But just think, if you want to be a good American citizen, you will comply with ICE. Because if you have nothing to hide, then why would you have a problem with showing your paperwork? The only people who would have a problem with that are people who do not have paperwork. I never understood why ordinary liberals get so offended by ICE going after illegal aliens. Like, what does that do for the average, and I say that in quotation marks, average liberal? Like, I say average, like, not a liberal podcaster, not a liberal YouTuber. He's got no fans to virtue signal to. Why are you upset about that? It's no longer racial profiling. We have people coming in from a country that may or may not belong here. So we have to get to the bottom of it. Again, if you have your ID, if you have a social security number, you have all this paperwork in check, what's the problem? But I want you to remember that how everybody who wanted to go on a flight had to prove that they were vaccinated. They had to show their vaccination papers. That's a totally separate issue, by the way. And by the way, it's just part of a police officer's job. It's just part of an ICE agent's job. A police officer sees something suspicious. When my brother and myself didn't have cars, we would go to our friend Zach. We would go to his school and we would wait for him to, get out. I mean, we would go see him, we would go walk him home. But one day when we were walking home, right, one day when we were walking home with him, right? So he left, and then we left, and literally we were like not even 5 feet from our house. And a police officer pulled us over, and he asked us, where are you going? I said, I'm going right here. This is my house. And then he said, well, there were robberies. There were reported robberies in the neighborhood, and whatever. The point was, it was annoying, even though I didn't rob anything, right? I was innocent. I'm an innocent person. We were being detained by the cop and we couldn't leave. So it's just part of an officer's job to make sure everything's on the up and up. And again, I can't say racial discrimination because I'm white and so was the officer. But it's basically the same scenario. Don't think of a Mexican / Latino person, don't think of them being detained just because they're Latino or Mexican. They're being detained because they want to be questioned as to whether they're here legally or not. Just think of it like any shooting game, okay? Sometimes you get the guy, okay? And sometimes it's accidental friendly fire. You know what I mean? Sometimes ICE agents will nab an illegal alien, detain an actual illegal alien. And sometimes it's a mistake. Sometimes they accidentally grab an American citizen who happens to be Mexican or of Latino descent. Whoops, my bad, move on. Again, like I said before, if you have paperwork as an immigrant in America, if you have that paperwork, if you have that stuff, hang on, let me get it. If you have the wallet with all the stuff inside it, no problema. But if you don't have the stuff, if you don't have your ID, if you don't have your social security number, then there's going to be a problem. So in conclusion, the Trump 2.0 administration is going to do more for the American people by increasing the surveillance on Mexican / Latino people. It's not meant to be racial profiling. They're doing it for America's safety.